welcome to my 100% playthrough of Mass Effect 3. In the previous episodes, Shepard and his team landed on Palaven's moon, Menea, the Turian main planet in the system, to help them against the Repears. And also because we hoped that we could find an ambassador in order to gather all the races of the Milky Way together and defeat the Reaper accordingly. Once there, we discovered that the Turians were overwhelmed by Reaper forces. We sort of helped them out a little, and during our mission something happened on the Normandy with Edie, as we totally lost touch with her and had to send another squad mate, Liara, in order to find out what was happening. Instead, Garrus joined our forces, and now we are about to continue this wonderful level of Mass Effect 3, one of my favorite actually because of the ambience and all that. So we've just recruited Garrus, but before we leave I need to take 2 items. This is the pistol magazine upgrade and a data pad, granting me some 2500 credits. So for Garrus, I'm taking the particle rifle. It is completely useless to put the piercing mod on this rifle. So for now I cannot put anything, and instead for the sniper rifle, let's put some accuracy and some damage. That's the thing with Garrus, you know, it can take enemies long range, but also short range, so that makes him very useful, aside from the fact that he also has armor-piercing ammo. Before we leave, I just need to do a few things with the ammo. Once you're ready, you go this way, where the big Reaper is.
James, that you breathing so hard? Atmosphere's a little thinner than I'm used to, is all.
It's the only way you can go, in fact.
Adrenaline's better than oxygen any day.
And your goal is to defend the airfield as it's written. It's also your first encounter with Marauders, which means that we also have a new codex entry about them. The thing with Marauders is that they have shields, so it's even famous now, Marauder shields. So just break the shields with energy drain. The engineer is perfectly suited for this kind of things, you know, so they shouldn't be much of a trouble thanks to, I don't know, energy drain, but you don't necessarily have energy drain if that's your first time playing Mass Effect 3. So instead use overload. Energy drain is cool because anytime you drain the shields of an enemy or the barrier of an enemy, like a Banshee for instance, that will restore a part of your shields. I sent my assault turret over there for the simple reason that there's a spawn point near there. As you can see, husks are coming in this way, so you know, it's just to go a little bit quicker. That's our last episode on Menea, by the way, so we'll be leaving this planet at the end of this episode, which also means that we'll have our first encounter with brutes. But I give you a few tips to get rid of those very, very quickly and, you know, without much difficulty. You know, just remember brutes are only armor, so for now there hasn't been any armored enemy so far in the campaign. But the strategy is the same as in Mass Effect 2. Powers such as incineration can be really, really devastating against these guys. So don't be afraid of using it.
I think we're done here.
And using combos as well. Combos is the solution to much things. That's why using incendiary rounds, thanks to James, is essential.
Go ahead.
Still trying to raise the primarch, but we've got trouble back here at the main barricade. If the Reapers breach it, we're done.
Once it's finished, your squad mates will notify you that you can go. Don't forget to take all the collectibles in this area, there are 2. I took them when the mission started. And now you have to go to the barricade. You are given 450 experience. And there's a passage that not many people like, actually. That's a shame. I don't like it. I'm among these guys who doesn't like this passage. So what I do usually is that I shoot at the husks with my own powers, and at some point I just take the turret and wait. Because, well, one day I just didn't want to use that turret, so instead I just, keep on shooting on the husks.
Okay, come on. Who's next? They're on the barricade.
And I don't know what happened. Probably I sort of soft-locked the game because there wasn't any husks coming in and the brute never appeared, so the animation triggering your first encounter with the brute actually did not happen. So that's why now I take the turret, I play it safe. I don't want to be surprised anymore. I don't want to lose time over, shooting husks. I didn't count them, I know it's supposed to be a very professional walkthrough, but in this matter, the only thing I can tell you is that listen to what your squad mates say, because that's the only clue you have as to when the brute is about to come. Well, it's a long sequence. You need sometimes to kill all the husks. It's sort of funny because that's the only vehicle, so to speak, you will be able to control during this game. That's a big difference with both Mass Effect 1 and 2. Even in Mass Effect 2, they had to complete the game with a few DLCs because this was so different from Mass Effect 1. There was no vehicle whatsoever, so they had to, to add a few DLCs, some of them free, some of them not so free, you know the deal. So there it is.
Holy hell! What is that thing?
Impressive, isn't it?
Brace yourself.
Shepard falls. But don't worry, he'll be in cover once you regain control of him. First, incineration, and detonate with any detonator, really. Like overload, as I just did, if you don't have energy drain. With some chance, if you're lucky, the brute will focus on one of your squad mates, so you can just continue with the combos and eventually die, like it just did. So you see the codex entries have been updated. Now there's Marauder and brutes, but we'll be seeing that later.
Still can't get a stable comm link.
Okay, I'm going on foot. Shepard out. Garrus, take me to the last place you saw Victus.
Now it's time to find General Victus, so you earn 600 experience.
How far?
Should be pretty quick, unless we find trouble.
And you have a long way to go. There are some nice character moments because Garrus is there, so he can tell you a bit more about Palaven.
Took out a frigate. Man, how many people? Oh my god. Would you look at
Methinks it's a very beautiful scenery, even though it's all about chaos and destruction. I don't know, there's something really beautiful about this.
Damn it. Look at Palaven. That blaze of orange. The big one. That's where I was born.
That's rough. Still have family there?
My dad. A sister.
How bad is it?
3 million lost the first day. 5 the second.
How's your military holding up?
Look around. That should give you some idea.
Take the datapad here.
Putting up a good fight.
For now. But how long does it take before the fight's kicked out of you? If they'd only listened to your warnings about the Reapers, we might have been ready.
Maybe. Hard to figure how you prepare for something like
And
this.
just go up ahead. Yeah, the way is very linear. You can't get lost. Though you can also take some time to look at the scenery. When I'm playing regularly, this part I just dash, but for the purpose of this video I just want to focus on a few things. The planet, it's really beautiful. So be careful, there are husks here and just behind you.
More back here.
I tried to throw a turret, but unfortunately I sent it nowhere. So it's not going to be useful. Cryo combo, it's very useful against husks because they tend to be in groups,
Shit, I hate those things. And New York is crawling with the creepy bastards? I never should have left Earth.
Usually when they spawn together, so if you use cryoblast,
Leaving the fight just pisses me off.
But you're here asking Victus to do the same thing.
and Rageous evolution of this power, then you can deal
Summit is the only chance we've got.
cryo combo, area damage, and kill them all in a few shots.
Soldier, you okay?
Yes, sir. We'll make it.
There's a medkit,
Have you seen General Victus?
Half hour ago. Headed south.
Okay, good luck.
and sniper spare ammo, but I don't use it. I have 8 points to invest. I'm taking 3 points for overload and chain overload. This is going to be useful because there will be many enemies on the field very soon.
That was a little closer than I'd like.
So I need to incapacitate as many mooks as I can. I don't want to deal with them. I want to focus fire on the bosses, on the boss enemies.
So, Commander, you really think this summit will work? I mean, Asari? Solarians? Where's the Krogan and Batarians? Where's the meat?
It's not that easy.
The Batarians took the first hit when the Reapers arrived. Not much left of them. And the Krogan have never forgiven us for the genophage.
Right. Turians sterilized them.
Solarians came up with it.
And the Krogan hate them both for it.
So they won't be joining us.
Too bad. I fought with a Krogan. They're tough sons of bitches.
We have a new codex entry about Krogan ancient history that will be really significant in Mass Effect 3, the Genophage story arc. You earn 300 experience points if you take this medkit. And, well, we just have to run again a little before we reach our final destination.
That sounds bad! Okay, double time. No Reapers taking this primarch from me. Right behind.
Once your characters have had this conversation, it means that you're very near. So what I'm doing now is incapacitate weaker enemies. I missed this overload shot. That happens sometimes, you have to be careful. Some enemies can go to cover. The goal is to detonate as many combos as possible, so that these enemies won't throw grenades. That's what I fear. Those grenades on Insanity, as I already mentioned in a previous episode, can kill you in one shot, but that's not the only thing, in fact. They can, force you out of cover,
The compound!
and then the enemy destroy you. And if you don't go fast enough, your shields will be killed. What I just did was to take the weapon here and shoot at whatever was in front of me. So I killed one brute. Well, I was a bit disappointed because I wanted to show you how to deal with the first one, but that's something you can do. The first time I played Mass Effect 3, I didn't know that this heavy weapon was just here, so I just, painfully dealt with the brutes. And there are other brutes coming in. That's the funny thing with this level. You also have a couple marauders. And there is the second brute, so I'm shooting it from afar. The goal is to try to prime this brute. I want to detonate a fire combo, so I'm preparing it right now. But you might just as well use the grenades that James has. If you didn't use them before, they will turn out very useful in this section of the game. That's why I'm putting them on the shortcut menu at the top of the screen right now. You see, the brute didn't really have the time to understand what was happening to them.
Been a brutal fight for these guys.
But the tide's turning. Turn up the heat.
They didn't get even close to me, so that's what I want. And by the way, they also have this sync kill animation. They can kill you just as in the multiplayer in one shot if they want, so don't get too close. At some point during the game, we'll be forced to deal with successive waves of brutes, and probably unlimited as well, I don't know. If you're still afraid of these guys, do something about it. Here you have the medkit for 300 experience and the sniper rifle enhanced scope number 2, so that will apply directly to Garrus, whose accuracy when shooting I want to be as high as possible. I want him to be as accurate as possible. There isn't much to loot around here, so once you think that most of the enemies have been killed, be careful though, because some of them go to cover. You don't want to be surprised, especially by those cannibals. You can move forward. Once there isn't any enemy left on the field, the objective will show up on screen, so you know that you can move safely. Another medkit here for another 300 experience. That's really important to level up as quickly as possible if you want to develop your power to use them as efficiently as possible. Go near this area and an animation will trigger.
General Victus.
Yes?
I'm Commander Shepard of the Normandy.
Commander, I know who you are. I can't wait to find out what brings you out here. Vicarian, where did you go?
Heavy Reaper unit on the right flank. I believe your exact words were, "Get that thing the hell off my men."
Appreciate it.
General, you're needed off-planet. I've come to get you.
It will take something beyond important for me to leave my men or my Turian brothers and sisters in their fight.
Fedorian was killed. You're the new Primarch.
You're needed immediately to chair a summit and represent your people in the fight against the Reapers.
I'm Primarch of Palaven,
Yes, you are.
negotiating for the Turian hierarchy.
Yes.
I've spent my whole life in the military. I'm no diplomat. I hate diplomats.
What's the hesitation?
What makes you think you're not qualified?
I'm not really a by-the-book kind of guy, and I piss people off. My family's been military since the Unification War. War is my life. It's in my bones. But that kind of passion is deceptive. Can make you seem reckless when you're anything but.
Oh, you sound perfect.
War is your resume. At a time like this, we need leaders who've been through that hell.
I like that. You're right.
And honestly, uniting these races may take as much strength as facing the Reapers. See this devastation, Primarch? Double that for Earth. I need an alliance. I need the Turian fleet.
Give me a moment to say goodbye to my men.
Without him down here, there's a good chance we lose this moon.
Without him up there, there's a good chance we lose everything.
Look at that. And they want my opinion on how to stop it? Failed CSEC officer, vigilante, and I'm their expert advisor? Think you can win this thing, Shepard?
Yeah, I don't know, Garrus. But I'm sure as hell gonna give it my best shot.
I'm damn sure nobody else can do it. For whatever it's worth, I'm with you.
Welcome aboard. Are you ready, Primarch Victus?
One thing. Commander, I appreciate your need for our fleets, but I can't spare them. Not while my world is burning. But if the pressure could be taken off Palaven...
That's a pretty tall order.
We need the Krogan. I can't see us winning this thing without them. Get them to help us, and then we can help you.
The Krogan.
The Krogan.
Looks like your summit just got a lot more interesting.
Definitely. That will be, you know, the teaser for the rest of the game, trying to forge an alliance between all these races.
I apologize for being so frank, Commander, but your plan feels doomed to failure. We know. We've been there before.
But Madam Counselor, let me...
I'm not the only one that feels this way. The Solarian Dalatras is livid.
Some of these issues are hundreds of years old. Time to let go.
Perhaps. Still, we can't help but feel that this summit is a waste of your time, and we can't afford to have it waste ours. We must focus our attention on the arrival of the Reapers. So no, the Asari will not be at your summit.
Oh,
Our
really?
alliance would be stronger with the Krogan. You need them. We all do.
Good luck, Commander, and goodbye.
Yeah, thank you.
Commander, Admiral Hackett's available on Vidcom.
A new journal entry. Let's chat with Hackett now.
Commander, have you retrieved the Primarch for your summit?
Yes, sir. But the Asari are staying on the sidelines.
They'll regret that.
They will.
The time for unity is now.
The Solarians will be there, though.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I don't.
We expect the Krogan will be joining us, too.
I see. Well, then you've got your hands full, Commander. Was there something else you needed to discuss?
You can investigate, but, you know, most of the time you will be giving the same answers.
Keep me posted. Hack it out.
And let's move on. Back to the command center. Here is Victus. You can have a chat with him if you want. It's not necessary to do that now. And once you go into this room, something happens.
Commander, Edie just went offline.
What do you mean, offline?
I don't know, she's not responding and I can't access the AI core diagnostics. You better get down to Deck 3.
Commander, comm systems are going haywire. Whatever's happening is centered on Deck 3.
See if you can get to Edie. I'll check the AI.
As you can see, all characters, you know, urge us to go to Deck 3, but first I need to check my mails. Here's a mail from Area. Once we get back to the Citadel, Ashley has woken up as well. The help request is another mission on the Citadel. This is a message from Thane, whom we'll be seeing very soon once we get back to the Citadel. And before going to Deck 3, let's go to Deck 5 first. Because I need to put on new gear just to see if I can max out some of my stats. Health, I don't need so much health, you know. I'd rather use, I don't know, weapon damage and headshot damage, for instance. Or even power damage. It depends, you know. Depends on what the purpose, what you think the purpose of the powers will be. It's just to incapacitate enemies, it's not very necessary to do that. Let's put on new casual clothes. I'm also upgrading a few weapons, so Shuriken for instance, because that's the weapon that some of my squad mates will be using. Also the scimitar, because that's a shotgun and usually I like to use shotguns a lot. Particle rifle, because some of my characters will be using it. I won't. I don't really like it, to be honest. I don't like weapons like this. The Mantis as well, for sniper rifle holders like Garrus, dealing more damage. So before we have a chat with James and Cortez, let's have a look at the new codex entries. So that's the new mission. We'll not be taking it now. Known associates, you now have Garrus Vicarians, an entry for him, naturally. For technology, you have a new entry about the genophage, the bioweapon created to control the Krogan. Then for the Reapers, naturally you have the Brutes and Marauders. Two new entries showing you how the Turians were used as weapons by the Reapers against the Turians themselves. Also non-console races, you have the Krogan Ancient History and the Krogan Rebellions. You already know about those if you played the first two Mass Effect games, which I think you did, and the Battle of Palaven, which we just lived. I'm just modifying my weapons. And So adding an upgrade, ammo capacity upgrade for my pistol. Okay, so let's have a character moment with James Vega. Let's go. There's an heroic action to take during the conversation, so be ready.
Hey, boss. So, that Turian's on board now, no?
Garrus is no ordinary Turian.
I'll take your word for it. Can't really tell them apart. You down here for a reason?
Say, thought I'd come say hi.
Just came down to talk.
Regardless of your answers, you will propose you to dance, so don't worry.
Great. Not sure what there is to talk about. You already know my service record.
I don't, actually. I didn't have access to personnel records when we met.
Right. Forgot about that. Well... Think you can dance and talk at the same time?
I think I can
Who
handle
do you
it.
think I am? I'm Shepard. Who the heck are you? You're not even famous.
Okay, loco. Let's dance.
You know whom you're talking to?
Don't push your luck, Vega. With age comes wisdom. And rank.
Ha! You sound like my old CO.
Oh yeah? And who was that?
Captain Tony. He was a hard-ass son of a bitch, but a good leader.
Because I'm playing Paragon, I'm not taking this action.
Was?
Died. With most of my squad. Protecting a civilian colony from a collector attack.
And the colony?
It was either them, or the intel we had on the collectors. Intel we could have used to destroy them.
Take the Paragon action now.
I chose the intel.
Sorry. That's a tough call.
Yeah, I went very quickly, sorry.
The best part was, we didn't really need the intel in the end.
But there's a second one coming in.
Because you were out saving the galaxy by taking down the entire collector homeworld.
You didn't know. You can't blame yourself, Vega.
Who says I'm blaming myself?
Don't take this action if you're playing Paragon.
Just a guess.
You a shrink too?
Nope. But that stunt back on Mars was reckless. You're lucky to be alive.
So?
So? Maybe you don't care if you live or die.
Be ready for the next Paragon action coming very soon.
I'm just willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to end this
No.
goddamn...
Maybe you are. But if you're half as good as I think you are, we need you alive.
Thanks for the pep talk.
Anytime.
Hey, thanks for the dance, loco.
Loco, I don't really like that, but I'm playing Paragon.
Loco, huh?
I'd better take it.
I can think of worse things to call you.
As long as you remember who's in charge, you can call me whatever you want.
Oh, I won't forget.
If you miss the action, James will hit you. There's the Model Quarian here. I'm picking it up, but I'm not really interested in those kind of collectibles. And now the Lieutenant. What do you have to say?
I hope I didn't leave you hanging too long on that last Cerberus raid.
I'm just glad we made it out in one piece.
Been a while since I've seen a dogfight like that. Really missed my trident. ACM isn't really the Kodiak strong suit.
Okay, so I think I stop here. In the next episode we'll be investigating on what has happened on the Normandy with ED, and thanks for watching. I exalt out, bye.